everyone, and welcome to this amazing author interview with Donna Wright, who is the author of If Lou Can, Then You Can Too, which is a beautiful, exquisite book that I just fell in love with. Such a magical story, Donna. Welcome.
Thank you. Thanks, Karen.
Do you know what I'm loving about this series of interviews is that we're getting to showcase the authors behind the books. Like, your books are out there, they're beautiful, and we have the amazing Veronica Rook backstage who's going to come in and share about the illustrations. But can you hold up your book there for everyone to see? Yay, If Lou Can, Then You Can Too. So this book excites me. It's a gender neutral book. So can you talk to us about that and why you were inspired to write this?
Well, it's been in the years of making, but I obviously last year had the opportunity to put my pen to paper and come up with it. With my educational background as a teacher, I've come across a lot of Lou's, and yes, the twist being gender neutral. I just wanted it to be a very simple message, and one that children can relate to all over the world. Picking my characters was really fun with Veronica's because we just needed to make sure, we hit the mark with the character. So it's a very simple book, simple design, really happy with the illustrations from Veronica. But there's a lot of kids that need that self-belief and get that inner strength to believe that they can make the right choice without too much external. We have it all. It's all internal. It's just extracting it. So yeah, it's a great concept, and if I was still in the teaching in the classroom today, I'd be using it as a proactive material resource as well as a reactive one, especially after recess and lunchtime when you might have little Lou's coming in and wanting to know the answer. And I just want to say, let's refer to this book and see what we can do. What would Lou do?
Absolutely. What would Lou do? It's such a catchy question, isn't it? And one of the things, I'm going to bring us right back to the time whenever we first met, and we brought your story along to the lab factory. We met up and we met with Tina, who's our editor, Tina Raffin-Mulligan, who's also a children's book author. And we both fell in love with your story and the concept of Lou being, representing both boys and girls, so that when a child, it's all inclusive, so when a teacher's reading the book to the class, no one feels left out. And the flow and the rhythm and the vision you had for your book was just caught us really, it just engaged us. So can you share about that day?
Yeah, well, that was a really lovely day because I remember that look between you and Tina when I produced this one piece of A4 paper, and you looked at each other, and I already thought, oh no, I failed here. And you guys just said, this is perfect. You've just nailed a 30-page book on one page. So that was great feedback already. But I think too, in class, when I have read many children's stories, a lot of them are either the little girl or the boys kind of concept of reading. And if you get children that are disengaged straight away, it's very hard to, regain their focus. So starting the book off, I always say when I started off, I go, oh, I wonder which one's Lou. And often it's the girls that'll say, oh, it's, this one here or that one there. So when they find out, which one Lou can be, I often say, I say, I'm going to be this Lou today or this Lou today. So it gives them clarity to say that they can have a choice of whichever Lou they want to be. So, that was a great day, the first meeting with you, Karen and Tina, because it was all about connections and I know it's all meant to be. So it's been a fantastic journey for me.
It absolutely was meant to be, and that's the thing. And apologies, I had a banner going the wrong banner at the bottom of our screen. I was like, oops, I was so engaged in the conversation. But that was the thing, it just engages, and the magical essence of it as well. So not only do you have this amazing concept, you also have this wonderful content that's really engaging and gets kids to think outside of the box as well and helps them solve a problem. So can you talk about the storyline of the book a little bit as well. And what we'll do is I'll share my screen and give people a little insight into the book as well.
Okay, so obviously at the beginning, I've done a poem about magic, just how magic can be so exciting and that we all have it, whether we're young, old, or otherwise. So there's a poem at the beginning of the book which, gets the kids intrigued. And they're all through the book is a hidden amethyst, which is, the crystal that makes you strong and protects you in time of need. So that's always hidden through there. And, once again, I know kids love going on a treasure hunt and finding out, finding this hidden crystal. I learned not to tell them about the crystal the first time when I was reading the book because they were too busy looking at finding the crystal rather than listening to the story. But so then it starts off with obviously the two characters, and the thing is, the first starts off with the little girl saying hi, and there's my poem right there, and it goes, hi, hi, my name's Louise, but my friends call me Lou, and everyone calls me Lou. And then you've got Lewis, hi, I'm Lewis, and everyone calls me Lou. And this is this aha moment that the children go, oh, they're both Lou's. And it's great because they go, oh, I'm going to be the girl Lou. And there's little subtle things in there like, Veronica and I, we wanted hats on because we know there's, in any outside play these days, there's no hat, no play kind of rule with the sunshine. So the hats were a big thing. And then we go on to the setting of the monkey bar where Lou is mostly happy. And of course, throughout the book, I don't use the word he or she. It's just Lou or I. And so the playground, setting could be at school, it could be at the netball grounds or the footy grounds, soccer grounds, could be wherever they want to be down at the local park. And it's lovely to have that little bit of interaction in the background on the pages with another child in the background playing, hopscotch or soccer or whatever. So, and of course, there's the hidden crystal somewhere on the book in each page. So, and then the story develops where, obviously there's, happy makes Lou's lips smile and eyes sparkle brightly and heart beats stronger. And it makes Lou's legs grow taller and feet tap because they want to dance, spin and twirl. And Happy feels so fabulous. And I stop the kids here when I talk about the word fabulous because I say to them, why didn't I just use the word happy feels good or great, and it takes them a little while, and I get them to really look at the word fabulous, and then we spell it out, and all of a sudden they see the switch. Oh, the Lou is hidden. The name Lou is hidden in fabulous. And then we do another thing, and it could have been marvelous as well. So that's great. And I just really love these illustrations by Veronica. It just makes me feel happy. And then it goes into kind of the moment where we have to start thinking, this is real life, but not everyone is the same. Some kids don't like Lou being happy. And then it goes, you're stupid. Don't hang around our group. And I refer to the kids here, me being a young child, I can remember being the mean kid, and I can remember the mean kid doing this to me too. So they feel good making other kids feel bad. That makes Lou very sad. Get lost. No one wants you here. And I think that those pictures or that setting is, every kid can relate to that. I mean, I can still relate to it. So, whether I was the mean kid, and I was very forthcoming when I was doing my school tours about, yes, I was mean, but you learn, it's a lesson in life to learn the effects that mean kids have on others. So I did, yeah.
Absolutely. It happens all the time, even in current days. And it's just, I suppose, part of kids growing up and trying to find their place and stuff like that. But it's so sad and it's horrible to be in the end. But when there's a book like this that you can relate to and connect with and have the conversation around, especially in the classroom, it's really important. I think it's a good time for us to bring Veronica in from backstage to chat about these amazing illustrations and how she brought Lou to life. Hello, Veronica.
Hello, thanks for having me.
Thank you for joining us. So you were dealt with the big task of coming up with Lou, the character. So how did that work, Veronica?
Very, very hard. I'll be honest with you, it was really tricky because I'm used to using a book, one character, and that's how I explained it to Donna. And it was good talking to Donna because Donna got very quickly that I projecting and present ideas, and I encouraged authors to just pull them apart. If there's anything there you don't like, just ruin it. Just pull it apart, and that's what it's there for. It's to put on stage and say, what do you think? And Donna was very, very adamant, and the two Lous were really, really tricky, and that was really, honestly really hard. So once we got the hang of it, and I got used to not using he or she, or because I work with the words, and Donna came to us with this fantastic idea that I love, and I've been bullied as well, and it does do a lot to you. And I think talking about this is really good. And so I just put my bits and pieces, but I wasn't in Donna's head. I don't know what she was trying to say. So the good thing is Donna didn't get offended or Donna didn't get put out by it. She just said, no, great. This is what I start, or this is a spread. What do you think? So she just pulled it apart and said, no, these are the bits I need. And that way we could visually see what the book looked like and bits that don't work right from the very beginning. So that was one of the trickiest bits. But once I got used to what Donna had in her head, and that's the tricky bit, is when an author comes to me, they have a very particular idea in their head and it's very different to mine. So I have to switch off, and I might start, like I said, at the presentation point, and then I give it to the author and say, right, what do you say? And then by what they cut out and put back in, then I start to see what they have in their heads. And then I can start getting more in tune. And then I can present something, and a client might say, or Donna might say, I was presenting different things, like we had happiness, and what does happy do? Well, we use colourful pictures. And then I started bringing greys and blues, which indicated sadness. And I don't know if Donna had not thought of that, but visually you can put it in front of her and she can say, yes, that works. That reinforces the sadness. We're not just having the words on the page, but visually kids can see everything goes a bit grey, which is how we all feel when we're being picked on and we feel we're so alone. And that's what Donna's got in the book, that you're not alone. A lot of people have been through this. And then there's an inner strength that Donna was trying to explain to kids that we all have. And once you tap into that, and no one can explain it, once that light bulb goes off and you think, no, I know how to deal with this. I know how to deal with these horrible things you're saying to me and how to not let it affect me. So we started with Donna just didn't know what her characters looked like. So being generic, I just started with stick figures at first. And then Donna sat for a while and then she thought about it. And I say, it doesn't happen straight away. So she thought about it and we tweaked them. And so this is just a rough sketch. And as you can see, the black and whites, this is what they all turned into. And they still took a bit of tweaking, but I encouraged Donna to sit there, think about it for days, come back. And then she said, that's my characters. So that was how the process worked. And there was a few little pages that needed tweaking, but that was the good thing about working in a whole book format. You can see what does and doesn't work. So that's how it was created.
Isn't it though, Veronica, once you pin down the characters and get the combined vision, and as I said, I always love for the author and illustrator to work together because that's where the magic happens. And so it's really important for that relationship and that bond to really connect. And then you've got the foundation for the book then to grow from. So Donna, was that experience the same for you?
Oh, look, I had such a positive experience with Veronica. Look, it was just so good, and I love Veronica because of her openness and her honesty. And me being a raw author, her input was just so valuable, and she's certainly added value to this book. It's been a real pleasure, and I look forward to doing my next one with Veronica. And we know, at least we know what Lou will look like in the next book. What the next characters, I don't know, but we'll come up to it. But it was a very positive and pleasurable experience. So, and I think I continued to tell Veronica that all through. And
Yes. Yeah, you were very good at taking advice. Like some people can be very definite, whereas I gave you advice and I encouraged you to either take it or ignore it, but you listened and you said, right, you know, that works with me. And the good thing is you picked all the bits that you said didn't work and you ended up with a book that worked and looked and did what you wanted, because there's nothing worse than two people not listening and not communicating and you ending up with a book that doesn't look right or doesn't do the job. And that can be really disheartening, because you've got to present this book to people and it's got to, and yours was very specific. Sometimes they're very entertainment. I think we said at the first meeting that your book was very different. It had a very specific role. You had to give it and put it in the hands of children, and they had to know the skills to deal with real life problems. And that was what was so unusual about your book. And that was why we had to get right exactly what you wanted.
Yeah, being innovative, it definitely is a book that's leading the way, because you're bringing in not only the subject matter, the new concept, but also bringing in kind of a metaphysical kind of thinking pattern, you know what I mean? So, and bringing that into the classroom so that we empower our children to be solution focused and know the power that they have within them. So it just excited me, this three, and then to get the illustrations right. Although it's a journey and a process, the end result is so worth it, isn't it?
It works.
Yeah, and I think too, you know, we're you know, you learn to respect the professionals in their game. So, you know, Veronica, you're the illustrator, Karen, you're the publisher. So, you know, for me, the respect for your professions is something that's made this book a real, you know, successful already. You know, just after the first visit from a school, I just come home skipping, because it's different when you read it to yourself, or even read it to your own adult children. But when you're reading it to classes of children and their feedback is just raw and honest and open and beautiful, I go, yes, we nailed it. And they picked up, you know, the vibrant colours, you know, when Lou was happy, the redness in the hat. And as the story went on, how everything dulled, you know, they picked up on these, you know, certain, and they actually added more things. They taught me things about my book that I didn't even know I had in there. So they picked up on so much. It was great.
That's normal.
Yeah.
Isn't it good? The illustrations take, you know, bring the words to life, and the kids connect with the visual and then with the words then.
You, as an author, you're trying to take in, when I send you, you know, concepts, you're trying to take in so much, but the kids pick on little tiny things. And I've had that before. Authors have said, I didn't know you put that in the book. And kids will pick up on that, because you're matter with the production, but the finished product gets in their hand and they scan and see a lot more too. But yeah, there's getting those little things gets them to more look into the book a lot more, rather than scan over the drawings and go, oh yeah, I know it's there. You look further in. And a lot of people, there's so many people that have been through this and been bullied.
You are so good at this, Veronica. This is your superpower. She knows what the kids want to see on the page. She does, I swear. She does it all the time. She knows what the kids want to see before the authors do.
Because that's what I wanted to see. That's all I do, is what I wanted to do. And my father used to teach me. He went to Vietnam. And when he was warrant officer, when he came back, he said there were so many young men that couldn't read and write properly. So the one decision he made when I was very young was that you were going to read and appreciate books very, very early on. And it caused problems for school, but it was the best thing he ever did, and the best thing. And I know and I have a slight learning difficulty too. So I knew what bits and pieces that are quick to pick up. So that's a big advantage to have that.
Yeah. Amazing. Yeah. Oh, it just was a collaboration in heaven, and I love the end result. And so bright and really catches your eye, and then with the crystals,
that was good.
That was amazing, because in a couple of situations, lessons, I had some kids that were just older kids that you could see they weren't interested too much, but as soon as I mentioned the crystal soon as I showed them the crystal, because I've got little crystals everywhere, and I wear my crystal, but that just engaged, and the knowledge that the kids have about crystals is amazing. So there's a new generation coming up now on crystals and their spirituality, which is something that I'm just learning now. So yeah, that's a real power to the kids.
Absolutely. Well, I know my kids, it's not, they don't want to look for ladybirds anymore. They look for the crystals. But I love that we can give a little insight into it here. And, it's just, we don't want to give the whole book away, but we're delighted that today, I'm just going to share this page. If you go to Kindle in Australia, you can grab your copy and help Donna and Veronica get to #1 today. And if you want to go to the Serenity Press page, you can meet Donna and learn about the book, and this launch will be here, and we're putting some more things down there at the bottom as well about this amazing book, and getting to know you as the author more as well, Donna, is always so insightful. Oh my goodness. Okay, so let's talk about September 4th. On September 4th, we're going to be at the museum in Perth, and it's going to be the event, children's book event especially of September, let's say that, but it's definitely going to be Serenity Press's biggest children's book event. And we're hosting, I think, up to 12 authors, and some of our illustrators are going to be there as well. And we cannot wait to showcase in Western Australia all of these amazing books. And our books are on a boat coming to us for that amazing date. So if you want to come and meet Donna, meet Veronica, come and join us at the museum, the Western Australia Museum, on September 4th, and just get to know Donna. Bring your questions, get to come and see this book and listen to a live reading, and also meet all of our other amazing authors as well. It's going to be a really special day. Okay, guys. Well, is there anything else you want to share, Donna, with everyone about If Lou Can, Then You Can Too?
No, I just hope, it is well received by parents, grandparents, educators, because there is a good, simple, very simple message behind it that we can all learn from. And, it brings in the protective behaviours, which is in the curriculum, WA curriculum, all about early warning signs, and it's, building resilience within all of us, which I know that is a buzzword, but it brings it back to, us making the choice rather than the choice being made by others, which sometimes is not always the best. So, no, I look forward to meeting people in September and see you guys down there. That'll be great.
Absolutely. And if you're watching, you're from a school or library, just come to Serenity Press and order directly from us. But we also are distributing 2 bookstores through Paribo distribution. So if you're a bookstore, connect with Paribo. There's a listing there that you can get all the information you need to stock this amazing book on resilience. It ticks all of the boxes in my eyes, and you're on a mission to help, to go and visit schools. So if a school wants to have you come, well, in Western Australia, let's keep it, just for the moment, to have you come and do a reading. Are you open for that, Donna?
Oh, yes. Yep. If I can juggle my other jobs that I have, I certainly will try to get there. That's not a problem.
Amazing. Wonderful. Well, I'm so excited. And thank you, Veronica, for jumping in and having a conversation with us. We're really grateful.
Thanks.
All right. Thanks. See you, Veronica. And Donna, thank you so much. We're excited. We'll get the word out about this book to far and wide. But guys, come and jump on, grab your Kindle copy today. Keep the conversation going about Lou, because it's such an important topic right now, but also to help the way of the future, and instilling this in our younger generation.
Great.
Thanks, Donna. Thank you, everyone, for watching.
Okay. Thanks, everybody. Take care.
Bye, everyone.